Hey guys, so in this video I want to talk about how to make your first $10,000 on Airbnb. And honestly speaking, it's not as hard as you might think. I had my first $10,000 month two of being on Airbnb, and there's been consistent, and you can see it here. I was able to consistently get to $10,000 with about 2 listings, and that was in the very beginning. And it's not as hard as most people think it is. And just so you guys can see here, in a recent booking that I just got, I reached a point where we're getting about one or two of those a week. So it's not that difficult to get to your $10,000 day. But the biggest thing that I find is a lot of people just don't know what they're doing. Right? And that's what I want to talk to you guys today, of what I've seen in the Airbnb space and how I kind of watched it evolve into what it is today. Airbnb, when it first got started, everybody was making money. It was actually quite easy. You slap a house together, you post some pictures, and then boom, you're basically semi-retired. But ever since COVID happened, it's not as easy as it used to be to make money in Airbnb. But I will admit, it's a lot more fun. Let me tell you why. Previously, like I said before, the way you make money in Airbnb is you slap a house together. Now, because there's more competition, individuality is probably one of the most important tenets. So if you can write this down, write it down, individuality, because you adding individuality, you being creative with your listing is actually how you step yourself aside from the competitors. It's not about competing with the person next door. It's not about even having the best listing. It's not about having the biggest house. It's not even about having a pool. It's about how creative can you make your listing. And that's pretty much it. And that gets fun because now there are no rules anymore. The rules are how creative can you make your listing. And with creativity comes individuality. And with individuality comes you basically get to charge whatever you want. And that's the beautiful thing about Airbnb. If you have a listing that nobody else has, Airbnb doesn't know what to compare it to. So what do? They let you choose. And whatever you get booked at is what Airbnb decides that you're going to be worth, right? And this is why I can charge as much as I possibly can on Airbnbs. And this is something that not a lot of people will tell you, right? The more creative that you can be, the more fun you can have with your listing, the more money you're going to make. Making your first $10,000 on Airbnb is actually not as hard as you think it is. Just so you know what I'm talking about, right? As you can see right here, we've started consistently having $5,000 to $10,000 days, and I can pull up more for you. Here's another one here, a little bit lower, slower day. The reason this is possible is because creativity is at the forefront of how you should build your Airbnb business. I wanted to keep this video short because I wanted to just give you a lot of the information. But the biggest thing is how creative can you be with your listing, all right? What can you add to your listing that nobody else can or can even think about, right? How crazy can you make your colors? If you look at where I'm in, this is green and rustic. This green and rustic combination has made me over $200,000 a year with just one listing, and I can talk about that in a whole nother video. But it's how creative can you be. So the race shouldn't be who can you compete with. The race should be how creative can you get and how quickly can you start. So in 2025, the way to make your first $10,000 a month, plain and simple, be creative, have fun with it. The more fun you can actually have with your business, the more money you're gonna make. You look at the top listings in the entire world. Would you say that they're following a strict rule? No, they're creative. They have things that no one else has even seen. They have themes that no one else has seen. And this is why they can charge prices that no one else can charge. Get creative with your business and then watch the money come in. Not only will that help you get to your first $10,000 in Airbnb, that'll help you get to your first $10,000 a month on Airbnb, and then that will eventually get you to your first $10,000 day, and then your first $10,000 booking. So it'll be a step by step, but it all starts with one thing: how creative can you be and how big can you dream? See you in the next one.